Tuesday, April 5th. Can't believe it's April 5th already. 4/5/2022. Last night was the College Men National Championship basketball game. And the North Carolina Tar Heels are up by 15 at half. And the Kansas Jayhawks came back and beat them by 3 at the end. One of the biggest, maybe the biggest comeback ever in college basketball history. Don't know. I don't know. I was watching the game, and usually I don't watch a lot of sports, but I will watch the championship games because there is a more level of intensity, and it's good to see that emotion. I like to see that human energy. But I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me, but I found myself having a hard time not flipping back. Signs. The movie Signs was on. It's one of my favorite movies. Kind of an important movie. It helps you to identify what your place is in this world. There is a bigger plan. Trust the plan. But I kind of just wanted to watch the movie. And I don't know what it is. I mean, yeah, it was an exciting game, but I don't feel myself getting fired up. Maybe it's because I'm not invested in either team. It's good to see a good game, but I don't know. I just didn't have that excitement, and it didn't feel, to me, I didn't get the feeling of the excitement that I think I should have felt, if that makes sense. I don't know. Unfortunately, I think that's the way it is with a lot of things for me. And when I say unfortunately, it's because it's hard to take pleasure in things that don't matter, I guess. Once you go down the rabbit hole and once you realize how messed up things are, hard to get a taste. Speaking of taste, there's some birds eating some roadkill. I guess someday we're all roadkill, but someday we're the bird. But it's once you understand what the truth is, once you understand how things work and the reality of it, games just don't really matter. They don't bring me a lot of pleasure. Everything's a game. Unfortunately, we're the ones getting manipulated. And I guess that's I don't want to go dark on this stuff, but, it's hard to take pleasure in a lot of things that, a lot of people take pleasure in, and we're supposed to take pleasure, and it's supposed to be fun to watch. But, it's hard to watch the Super Bowl. It's hard to watch the World Series. I don't even know when the last time I watched a World Series game. I can't do it. I just cannot do it. But it's because back my journey into this, I don't know, I've always felt this way. I've always felt that things were screwed up. World doesn't work right. We got bad people in charge. I just kind of was born into it, and I've always felt that way. I always felt like things weren't right. Tried to identify what that was throughout my whole life. And my awakening process, and I guess this is about me, this video. My awakening process began in really, as far back as I can remember, but I started to identify what the issues were in the early 2000s, really after 9/11, and then knowing that was just not right. And then looking, I got a lot of information from Alex Jones, who I guess has been proven to be right now after all. And then David Icke, I read his book, and that's, it can be a bit fanciful, talking about reptilians and such like that. But I'm gonna watch it. Neighbor's got the dog on the street here. Don't want any more roadkill. But he's talking about these shape-shifting reptiles and their eyes and slits. And it's just, what is this? And I don't necessarily, buy into the idea that, yeah, that's what they are. But the spirit of that, reptilian spirit is in a lot of people in control. And if you look at it that way, it's almost like that's what he kind of got at. It's like a hologram. Everything's a hologram. And the spirit, that energy is within these people, and some people can see that energy. It's almost like seeing auras. You can see the light of some person. I think that's kind of how I interpret it. You see the evil, you see the cold-bloodedness of these leaders, these people who are in control, because they really don't care about our lives. they'll send you off to war because, they want to make a little bit of money. Go ahead and die for my cause. So they're heartless in a lot of ways. And so they are kind of reptilian. So I get it, it's a good analogy anyway. But maybe at the spiritual level, maybe at the dimensional level, that's really what they are. I don't know. But reading that book, what it did more than anything, was called The Biggest Secret by David Icke. And it was, the idea that, hey, we're controlled by a bunch of multinational banking cartel, and these people who have set everything up and they rig the money and that's how they control things. That was my first light bulb moment where I'm like, you know what? That does make sense. And at the time, I'm like, man, nobody believes this. But there were a few people. And now everybody's starting to see it. And that's the encouraging thing. We can talk about the Federal Bank, the Federal Reserve, and national banks and how they're not good and how they do enslave us. And you see how governments just use them to create money, and that's inflationary, cause the cost of everything to go up. That's why we're paying $5-6 a gallon for fuel. And that's why food costs are rising. It's not because of the war in Ukraine. This was already going on, so don't pass it off on that excuse. People are seeing through this now. Whereas in the past, it was that damn Saddam Hussein. It was that Gaddafi guy. Osama bin Laden. We had all these cardboard fictional cutout characters that we would blame all the world's ills on. And then, let's go to war. And guess what? There's a lot of corporations that make money on war. And there's a lot of power grabs that occur because of war. And so, we were so stuck in this matrix mindset, that it was just, I felt like nobody else thinks this stuff. And now it's just so encouraging to me that people are waking up and they see through all the lies and all the deceit. But that was one of the books, that really got me started and got me thinking, outside the cage, got me looking at things a different way, and specifically the monetary system. And of course, at that time, I was listening to Cliff High. Actually, Cliff High wasn't out there, but he had a guy named George Ure as kind of the mouthpiece, to kind of protect him from the public, because I don't think he was ready to come out yet. And this is early 2000s. Around 9/11. He was on Coast to Coast, at least George Ure was. And then Cliff eventually came out. And then I remember when he said his name, I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's actually going to out himself. And I think we all get to that point to where we know things are wrong and we're just like, I got to say something about it. I don't even care. I got to get in the battle and I got to talk about it. And I see so many people in the crypto space feeling the same way, having these same sorts of feelings about being activated by cryptocurrency, and just realizing that, it is the money. The money is the thing that's broken. The money is the thing that controls us. And by buying into their illusion, their magic trick of the dollar or whatever money, paper monopoly money that they want to give us with all the pretty colors, if we buy into that magic trick, that illusion, then we just willfully are deceiving ourselves into thinking that it actually has value, actually has power. It doesn't have power if you don't give it that power, you don't give it that energy. And with cryptocurrency, whoever created it, it doesn't matter to me. The fact that the genie's out of the bottle, Pandora's box is open, the fact that it's out there and it's a weapon on the battlefield, any of us can pick it up. Good guys, bad guys, doesn't matter. But it's out there. It's a truth protocol. And you can use it for good, you can use it for evil, just like any other weapon. So it's given humanity a chance to rise again against the dark forces that have been controlling us. And they've been doing it through this dark alchemy called money. Because that's all it is. They're creating this fiction, this thing out of nothing, and giving it power, and then we give it power, so we're participating in this ritual. Quit doing it. That's why I say don't give your energy to vampires. You don't have to. They have no power. A vampire has no power if you don't give it to him or her. Has no power. It's just this walking corpse that feeds off of others. It's a parasite. And you don't have to let it into your life. You know, you get all the vampire lore, you know, they can't come into the house if you don't invite them in. So they try and trick you into, you know, letting them come in, and you don't let them in. If you don't let them in, you don't deal with them. You shine the light of truth on them and they burn away. You know, the light, no, they can't handle the light. You know, there's something to be said about the allegory of the vampire, because it's just this dark, creeping, you know, this leeching force that just needs your energy, and it lies to you, deceives you, and so you bring it to the light, and that destroys the darkness, the lies, the creature, the myth. It's very important in this day and age to realize that there are real vampires. And these people, these things, these creatures that try to control us, they do it through under the veil of darkness. They don't give you the whole story. They don't give you the truth. And they won't even talk about it. And they want your energy. And they want you to voluntarily give it up. You look at this whole pandemic thing that we've gone through, and you voluntarily gave away your sovereignty. Voluntarily. Didn't have to do any of it. Now you make the argument, yeah, if I wanted to fly on a plane, I had to wear a mask, you know, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Did you have to take one of these? Well, some people said you did, or you're going to lose your job. And then once there's a big shortage of people because, you know, there's so many people that didn't do it, well, you can all come back now and the mandates are over. So if you just stood your ground and believed in what you believed to be true inside, you won. And the courts have proven that you win. Because we knew all along we were right. And they're just trying to deceive us. And so why give your power to those vampires? It's not worth it. Because then, you know, now you have the poison in you. You know, their poison. You know, and you don't know what it is. You've got no recourse. And, you know, it's horrible. It's a horrible thing to think that people were deceived into doing it when they didn't need to. And they didn't want to, but they did it anyway because, well, if I don't, this is going to happen. You know what? Let it happen. Doesn't matter. You know, doesn't matter. It's not going to cross that line. I don't believe in it. And it'll work out. And it did. So it's going to happen again. There's going to be some other BS, something they're going to try and convince you of, something they're going to try and roll out. You know, it might be a cyber attack. Oh my gosh, you know, everything went down. All the banks crashed. All your money. What are we going to do? Wait, we have an answer. Problem, reaction, solution. And so they're going to present you with, you know what? We've been working on this. We're just going to have to roll it out now. It's called the CBDC, a central bank digital currency, or they'll give it another fancy name, the Amero, whatever. And they're going to call it crypto. We're going to say it's a cryptocurrency. It's going to be digital. It's all digital now anyway. They're just rebranding it. And it's going to have limits on it. If you don't spend it at the right place, well, you know what? Your CBDCs aren't going to work. If you don't spend it in a certain amount of time because they want that velocity of money, they want it to be flowing, you're going to lose 10% a week. Or you might lose all of it. It expires at the end of the month. You need to spend it all. So they're going to completely micromanage your life with money that they can completely control. At least with cash at this point, you do have a level of control. Not so in the near future. They'll have a cyber attack, something will happen. They're going to reopen everything and they're going to give you this new solution. Oh, you turn your dollars in and we'll just equate it with more CBDCs or credits or, whatever it is in science fiction movies. They never pay with cash. It's always, they got digital credits or social credits or, whatever it is. And, you go watch these things, like Blade Runner and the Black Mirror episodes on Netflix. And they telegraph all this stuff. Because, you think about it, if you're living in this sci-fi world, do you really want to be carrying around cash? Do you really want to be carrying around, things that you got to hold in your hand? No, you're going to use the technology. It's more efficient. That's all we do is strive for efficiency. So we'll be paying with digital things. The danger of doing that is just like the danger of volunteering into a debt-based dollar system. They are going to control it, and you're going to have no say over it. And, oh my gosh, this guy, he bought a bottle of Russian vodka, so we need to shut off his credits. And then you go and try and buy something else. It's like, sorry, declined. And that's the kind of situation you're in. they can choose, they'll pick winners and losers like they always do. They'll just have greater control to do it. So you know what? Don't give them that control. You know you're going digital. All right, so what do? You need to get sound currency. You need to get sound money for the digital age. That's why it's so important to get invested in things. I don't even want to say invested. It's so important to look at things like Bitcoin and Litecoin. Because if you really see that we're going digital, you want to have digital assets that are controlled not by a central bank, not by a government. It's outside of that. It's a network. It's a voluntary network that's just running code. It's just like a constitution. It's just words on paper. And you voluntarily have that computer run those words on paper. And then if enough people do that, then you kind of create your own new republic. Not even a republic. Your own new community to where we know what the principles and the rules are, and the computers enforce that. It just runs that code. It runs that code. It validates transactions. That's the only thing that keeps the network running. Litecoin's been running over 10 years. No interruptions. It'll be 11 years this October. No interruptions. Always works. And it's nothing more than computers running just words on paper. That's it. Validating transactions. There's no government involved in that. It's just that simple. It's money that works. And so as more people give value to it, the more valuable it becomes. And it's very valuable in the digital age. What about an EMP? It takes out America. Well, guess what? Those Litecoin Network computers are running all over the world, so it really doesn't matter. The funds are safe on there. You just need to have access to it with your private key, which is those words that you write down when you open up a digital wallet in order. Never make those digital. Always write them down. But you can take those out of the country if you can get a flight that's not canceled. You can leave the country with those words. You can memorize them in order. And you can have $100 million on the Litecoin network. Walk out, restore it in any other country, and buy whatever currency that you want with it because it's so liquid. It doesn't matter. You can turn it into gold, turn it into silver, turn it into whatever, paper currency of the realm. That's the beauty of it. You're sovereign. You're outside that system, that monetary system. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. Cryptocurrency is this new economic weapon that we can all participate in and pick up off the battlefield. It's just so important. All right, so that's my journey, and that's why it's so important to me, because I'm tired of getting ripped off. I'm tired of vampires really sucking the energy out of me and other people, and I see it all the time. And a lot of people don't understand why, and they get mad, and so they're easily deceived. Well, it's because of Ukraine. It's Putin's fault. You just issue up the excuse. And thankfully, more and more people aren't buying that. And I want everyone to see through that illusion and realize, no, it's your government. It's the central bank that's robbing you by creating more and more of these magic notes, these magic tricks. And they're robbing you of your power. It doesn't store up your energy. It gets devalued every day that they create more of them. And so you have to pay more of them at a grocery store for food, at a gas pump for fuel. Everywhere you go, you need to pay more. Well, then you got to work harder to get more because, your wages aren't keeping pace with how fast they're creating it. So you're losing. They're robbing you of your energy. They're stealing your life. They're vampires. It's just that simple. So you find a way to get out of that bull system. The casino. They're giving you the chips. Well, don't use them. Get out of the casino. You got these other chips over here. You got this other money over here, this sound money. Go pick it up and use it. It's just that simple. And you have to start doing it. You start withdrawing your energy from that and taking, your valuable energy that you've used in this world, and whatever you get paid, put it into something that's going to hold value. There are options. It used to be silver and gold. Silver's still way undervalued. I think it's an amazing opportunity. Bitcoin and Litecoin. Litecoin's way undervalued compared to Bitcoin. An amazing opportunity. That's get it while it's undervalued. It's just that simple in my eyes, and that's where I've come my whole life. Seeing things that are wrong, realizing it's the money. All right, how do we wrestle the money away from them, or how do we just not use that money? And that's where I'm at. Litecoin. That's where I'm at. And there's other options. There's DigiByte. It's cheaper. But, I mean, for what Litecoin does, how long it's been around, that's the most solid, undervalued cryptocurrency in the world, in my eyes. No question. It is sound money for the digital age. So that's just how I feel about it. That's why I talk about it. So now that you kind of understand where I'm coming from, I just hope you all have a great day and just think about these things and realize, you know, that just everything you do as you go through life, realize these vampires are out there taking your energy and stealing it. That's what they do. All right. You know the truth. Trust yourself. Always look inside, because that's where the truth is. Don't listen to people who tell you what they want to project on you, what they believe, you know, is going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Do your own research. And when it resonates right here, then you know it's true. Trust yourself. You've only got yourself to blame. They're not going to take credit for all the losses. All right. Hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. I love you all. Hit that thumbs up if you think it's worthwhile. Subscribe. Share it with somebody. If not, that's okay. It doesn't matter. I just want to be a voice out there that hopefully helps someone or inspires someone to maybe wake up or do something in their lives that they might not have done before, and just validate your feelings. And if I can do that, then I won. I'm happy. So I thank you for watching. I appreciate you spending the time. Love you all. Hope you have a wonderful day.